We are going to make the normal dart, that is the basic dart, and also the princess dart, that is Bustier. And here are the basic things you need for your drafting. These are the basic things you need for your drafting. And we are going to start from the basic dart. The first thing I'm going to do is to take my shoulder measurement and but before then, let's draw a line here for our base. This is our baseline. Here is my shoulder measurement. My shoulder measurement divided by 2. That is 7. I'm using 7. From that 7, you go down by 1 inch. Because you know your shoulder is not straight. It's a bit slanted. You go by 1 inch. And you rule to the tip. You take it to the tip. Then from here, from that line you just drew, you take your armhole measurement. Armhole, your round armhole divided by 2. Normal, I use 7. 7. My bust point, shoulder to bust. Shoulder to bust. Then shoulder to under bust. 14. Shoulder to waist. 16. Then my full blouse length, 25. My full blouse length is 25. Let's extend the line. Okay. Then from this point, this is my armhole. We are extending the lines. So we are going to take our measurement. So here is my bust, under bust, waist. Here is my chest line. Chest line. So from this chest line, I'm going to take my bust divided by 4, and I have 9.5. Also here, 9.5. Bust divided by 4. My waist divided by 4 is 7.5. 7.5. Then my blouse length, depends on how free you want it to be at the jam part. You can make it. You can use your hip divided by 4. So my hip divided by 4, I have 10. You can use 10 or you can increase it to 11 or 12. Depending on how free you want it to be at the jam part. So here I'm using 12. Then from my waist to my bust, waist to bust, then extend it to your chest line like that. Are you seeing that? You extend it to your chest line. From my hem to my waist, then from my waist I took it to my bust, then extend it to my chest line. So what we are going to do next is to take our dart measurement, and to determine your dart, you are going to measure your nipple to nipple measurement. That is from one nipple to the other nipple. Then you divide it into 2. And my nipple to nipple measurement is 7, and I'm using divide by 2. That is 3.5. That is 3.5. You take 3.5 straight down. 3.5, 3.5, and 3.5. Then you rule. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to, from my waist part, from my waist I'm going to take 1 inch on both sides. 1 inch here, 1 inch here. And at the hem, I'm going to take ½ inch on both sides, half and half. On my bust part, I'm coming down by 1 inch, like this. I'm coming down by 1 inch. Then we are going to rule. from your hem to your waist, hem to waist, then from waist to your bust, where I came down by 1 inch. That is where you stop. Are you seeing it? Where I came down by. Your point should not stop exactly where your bust is. Your dart, it shouldn't stop exactly where your bust is. It should be 1 inch or ½ inch away from your bust. So here is our basic dart. Now, I'm going to drag our armhole. Our armhole is 7 divided by 2. That is 3.5. 3.5. So that part where we got our 3.5, you are going in by 0.75. I'm going in by 0.75 or ½ an inch. But here I'm going in by 0.75. Then I'll take my French curve and connect from the upper part to the point, and from here we curve. If you are drafting the back, there's no need of doing this. Neck width, I'm using a neck width of 3 and neck depth of 4. Then I'll connect. Can you see that? So when drafting this, when cutting your fabric, please make sure to always add your sewing allowance. This is 2 inches for our dart. We took away 2 inch. We took 2 inch for our dart. We place that 2 inch here. We place that 2 inch here and redraw. Are you seeing what I'm doing? That 2 inch we took away from our dart. We took for our dart. You redraw it like this. Then you draw the line to meet the armhole line. Are you seeing what I just did? Now cutting out the dart. So what I'm going to do here is to blend this part to avoid having this sharp object. To avoid having sharp effects by the side. So I'm going to blend it. I'm going to blend. You can do this before cutting out. Remember to add your sewing allowance when cutting your fabric. Add 1.5 to 2 inches for your sewing allowance. We are drafting our back pattern now. So what we really need is just the chest line, that is the armhole line, and the waist. We don't need the bust and the under bust because the back doesn't have it. So what I'm going to do is to take my nipple to nipple measurement, just like what we did. 3.5, just like what we did before in the front block. 3.5 and rule. Then my darts, I'll still be taking 1 inch on both sides from the waist. Here is the waist. I'm taking 1 inch on both sides. Then I'll take it straight up to my chest line. That is my armhole, where my armhole stops. That is where I'm taking my dart line to, like this. And like this. ½ inch on both sides, just like I did for the front. So I'm taking my measurements now. My waist, I use 7.5. 7.5, here is 7.5 plus 2 inch for the dart. This is 2 inches, sorry. This is 2 inches for the dart. I use my hip measurement for the hem, for the down part of the gown. I use 10 inches. Here is my 10 inches plus 2. Okay, here is not 2. Here is 1.2. 1.2. So I'm going to rule. Then take it to my chest line. The chest line, I use my bust. 9.5. Then this place, please don't make sure it's not sharp. Blend it. You can use your curve ruler or your French curve to blend it. And this side, because it's the back, it doesn't really need any measurement. You don't need to go in by 0.5 or 0.75. Just curve it. Just take a curve there. Just curve it like this. Are you seeing? And blend this the way we blend the front part before. The way you blend the front part before, just blend it so that when after sewing, you don't have any sharp edge from the side of your dress. And now for the zipper allowance, remember here is where our measurement started from. Here is the center back. Here is the center back. So from there we are going to take our zip allowance, and I'm making use of 1 inch. 1 inch. But there's what I want to do here. Because we don't want any bulge at the back side where we normally fix our zip. Some dress, when you see some dress, you see bulge after fixing your zip. You see bulge at the back, especially the waist area. So to avoid this bulging effect, I'm going to mark half an inch here on the waist side. Then on the other part of the dress, 1 inch. 1 inch. 1 inch. 1 inch. So from here to here, from that half inch to the 1 inch, from half to that 1 inch, then you take it straight. Take it straight up, like that. Are you seeing the difference now? This helps to eliminate bulge after fixing your zip. But some persons who want to, that 1/2 inch you took from here, it's supposed to be 1 inch we are taking for our zip, right? So I reduce this place to half an inch. So that half inch we reduce. Some persons are going to add that half inch here. But personally, I don't add it here. Personally, I don't add any half inch here because I took away half inch here. I don't add it here. I don't add it here, and it works for me. So you can add, especially when you are working with a stretchy fabric, you don't need to add that half inch you took away from here. You don't need to add it back. It works for me like that. I don't add it back. So now, what we are going to do is to cut our pattern. The only thing you are going to do here is to add your sewing allowance, because we have already added our dart allowance. My back neck width, I use 1.5. 1.5. Sorry, the neck depth 1.5. The neck width, the same thing with the front neck. That is 3 inches. So that is all, or this is all for our front and back pattern. When sewing, not because we remove half inch from the waist, and you are attaching your zip, and you, after using 1 inch here, then this side you start reducing it to half inch. No, you still use 1 inch. Please remember this dart, the back dart, touches the chest line. That is the armhole. It touches here. Touches it. So here is our front and back pattern. Cutting out your fabric, add these 2 inches dart allowance, and also add your sewing allowance. Add your dart allowance, the 2 inches that is here, add them to your fabric, and also add your sewing allowance. Welcome back. So for the bustier, I'm going to draw just from my waist to my, just from my shoulder to my waist. So now I've drafted the basic things you should know by now when we draft our basic bodies. From my shoulder to waist, shoulder to bust, shoulder to under bust. Then I took my nipple to nipple measurement, divided by 2, and I have 3.5, and I took it straight. We slanted our shoulder, and our neck width is 3 inches, while the neck depth is 5 inches. That is what I've done now. So what I'm going to do next is to insert our darts. So on this part, this waist part, on the folded side, here is the center front, is on fold, it's not open. Here is the center front. So on that center front part, I'm going to take half an inch on that part. Here is my half inch. Then on this other side that have the seam, I'm going to take 1.5 inch, 1.5, and half inch. Half, 1.5. On the folded part, half inch. On the seam part, 1.5. So on this bust area, here is our bust line. On this bust area, I'm coming down by 1 inch. Because you don't need that part, this bust area, to be sharp. So I'm coming down by 1 inch. That means we are taking that, so that's 1 inch, the new line we created. 1 inch, you take it there. Are you seeing what we just did? So on this part, the armhole, the normal way we used to do it, 7. No, here it's supposed to be 7. Sorry, here is 7. I don't know why it's 6.5. Here is 7. My armhole is 7, not 6.5. So that's 7 divided by 2. I have 3.5. Here's my 3.5. Then we go in by 0.75. We go in by 0.75. So what I'm going to do here now is to take our measurement. My bust divided by 4 is 9.5. 9.5. My waist divided by 4 is 7.5. 7.5. And you extend the line to the bust area. You extend the line there. So I'm going to take my dart. You know, we use 2 inches for our dart. So I'm going to add my 2 inches back here. There's my 2 inches. I've added my 2 inches. So what I'm going to do for our princess dart, you know, princess dart is from the armhole, right, to the bust. So at this point, the bust point, we are going up by 1 inch too. This other side we went down by 1 inch, and now we are going up by 1 inch too. Let me make sure it's 3.5. Okay, 3.5. So we went up by 1 inch. So on this point now, on this midpoint, we are taking our curve ruler to meet that point. Then make sure you blend here. Make sure you blend here. Connect here and here. Blend them together. Are you seeing that? So on both sides now, on both sides, we are taking half inch on both sides. So on both sides, half inch here, half inch here. Then we take it to, we draw our curve to stop here. Like this. Then from this point, the last line here, from this last line, we will take in 1 inch. Because of this 1 inch that is here, you know, from here to here is half, here to here is half. That is 1 inch. So we are redrawing our line here. 1 inch. 1 inch. And we'll redraw our curve. We'll redraw our curve. Are you seeing that? We redraw our curve. Please make sure when you are cutting, be very, very careful so that you don't mistakenly cut the part you need, okay? So I'm going to cut out now, but before then, let's draw our neckline. Are you seeing what we did here? So the final thing we are going to do is to cut out, and after cutting, please remember to always add your seam allowance. Remember to add your seam allowance to avoid shortage. So I'm going to cut out now. Okay, on the back part, we have nothing much to do, but very important thing to do. Okay, so on the back part, I just drew the basic things you know here. My nipple to nipple measurement. Instead of using 3.5, the way we use on the front pattern, I added half inch to it so that I can extend. You know, the back doesn't have bust, so I want it to move to the other side. So I added half inch to it and 1 inch on both sides. I'm talking of the dart, 1 inch on both sides. Then take it to our chest line. Here is the chest line. The chest line, what I used to connect it is my bust measurement divided by 4, 9.5. That is what I wrote from here to here for my chest bone. That is my armhole area. So what I'm going to do now is to take down 1 inch, then connect my dart to that 1 inch. Connect my dart to that 1 inch like that. And remember to add your 2 inches you took from the dart. Remember to add it by the side, the same area. Remember to add it here and rule. And because we want the top or the blouse to be fitted, what I'm going to do here is our zipper allowance. I want to use 1 inch. You can use 1.5 or 1 inch, depending on what you want. So I want to use 1 inch for my zipper allowance. Here is my 1 inch. 1 inch, 1 inch. But when I get to my waistline, I'm going to take ½ inch instead of 1 inch. I'm going to take ½ inch. So here, from half to that 1 inch, connect, then take it straight. Like that. I see. Then, from here to here, you know your back is higher than your front, right? Your back is higher than your front. So because of that, we are going to go up by ½ inch. ½ inch. ½ inch. Here is ½ inch. We are done with the zipper part. We are going to go up by ½ inch from here to here. From here, I'm talking of the waist. Here is the waistline. From here to here, you take ½ inch. Then you connect it to your side seam. You connect it here. Hope you understand what I'm doing here. ½ inch. Then you connect. That's because your back is higher than your front. You connect. I hope you understood what I just did here. Then you extend your neck to your zipper allowance. Like that. So we are done for the back. We are done for the back. So I'm going to cut out now. So we are done with our pattern drafting. We have come to the end of this video. So stay tuned to this channel. Please subscribe, like, and share. Thank you for watching.